Good morning. It's a great day for learning with Hamburg Middle School. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated for the morning announcements.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, April 17th, 2020. Today is a day 3. Happy birthday today to Carrie Wellington. We hope you have a great one. Yesterday's answer to library trivia was hoot. Today's library trivia question is this. We have an entire section in the HMS library dedicated to this genre. These factual books are about a person's life, but they're written by somebody else. What is this genre? If you know the answer, email Mrs. Mulbert today. Some news came out yesterday. Our school closing will go until at least May 15th from this point. So a little less than a month more. Who knows what news we might hear between then and now, but we will be ready for it, regardless of what it is. We're all taking a deep breath about this. All of us sort of hoped that we'd come back earlier, but we know in the back of our mind that what is being done is done for our own safety, and that for our friends, and that for our family. So we want to follow that. We want to abide by all those safety regulations, the social distancing that's been asked of us, and of course the wash your hands piece. What does this mean for us, though? Well, yesterday also we announced as a district that we are going to start new learning. And your teachers will let you know when that will begin, but it'll be between the window of April 22nd and April 27th. Keep checking your emails about that to see what changes will happen based on the classes that you are taking. When new learning begins, the graded assignments that you'll be provided, yes, the graded assignments that you'll be provided by your teachers will receive a mark of either satisfactory or incomplete. Those grades will, as we say, live in Parent Portal. So parents and guardians and students, you'll be able to check that progress as well. Be sure you're checking your emails for that message from Mr. Cornell, our superintendent, and for messages from teaching staff as we transition to new learning. We know that this has been a very different time. You've been remarkably flexible, as has the staff of Hamburg Middle School and indeed all of Hamburg Central. It is important at this point, though, that we move towards the new learning beyond review, while at the same time taking into account the challenges that everybody is facing in one way, shape, or form. Before moving on to our spring learning activity for today, I want to thank Mrs. Caney, Ms. Sylvester in the curriculum office, Mrs. Mason, and Mrs. Narabeski as instructional coaches for their work in creating that activity calendar. The activities were meaningful, thoughtful, and didn't dominate the day. They made my spring break better, and I hope yours as well. Earlier in the week, we saw collages that were made by students, doors that were decorated in honor of autism awareness, and even more. We're going to share some other ones with you now, and then we'll go on to the learning that I will try to accomplish today.
Sixth grader Donald Sterner did a tremendous job in the Solve It or Sink It challenge. He did a much better job than me. He sent in a video to prove that as well. I couldn't quite get it uploaded to this film, but great job, Donald. Middle school teacher Miss Smith and her husband created a family summer bucket list, which was awesome. Another activity was the Connor J. Long Pen Pal program, and seventh grader Anya Mulbert wrote a wonderful letter to one of our residents at Elderwood. And that brings us to today's work for me to complete my bingo. Yesterday I worked on a family tree. Today I need to create with my family a time capsule. All the information is there for me at the activity calendar. I encourage you to take a look at that and choose an activity that you are interested in and that works for you and your family.
Finally, if you're a regular watcher of these little announcements that we do, yesterday I mentioned the idea of look for the helpers. In times of crisis, it's the helpers who provide support, hope, and a model for the rest of us to follow. From hashtag Feed Hamburg to the Connor Long Foundation, to medical professionals, to those trying to ensure our safety through keeping things clean, we need to thank the helpers. We'll skip the joke for this Friday and leave with a 1-minute passage from Fred Rogers, who most of us know as Mr. Rogers, who popularized the phrase, "look for the helpers." This is from a YouTube channel from somebody named Alex Forsyth, so we want to give credit there. Have a fantastic, hope-filled Friday, Bulldogs, and ask yourself, how can you be an 11 today? Following the minute clip from Mr. Rogers, you'll see today's slideshow, and I gotta say, some fantastic photos were contributed. Please consider doing that over the weekend as well, or post them to hashtag HMS Together. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Friday, great weekend. So long.
My mother used to say, a long time ago, whenever there would be any really catastrophe that was in the movies or on the air, she would say, always look for the helpers. There will always be helpers, even just on the sidelines. That's why I think that if news programs could make a conscious effort of showing rescue teams, of showing medical people, anybody who is coming into a place where there's a tragedy, to be sure that they include that. Because if you look for the helpers, you'll know that there's hope.
I need content.
But you can't film that.
That's good. Stop.
The